Okay, so Sony just threw a big $6,000 curveball into my plans. What's going on, guys? Welcome to a very unscripted, just kind of reaction video of me trying to figure out which camera should I get for the near future. So I'm gonna consider this an open dialogue, and I'm gonna leave it up to you in the comments to kind of help me nail down the camera that I want, because I'm pretty convinced that the FX6 is right up my alley. So let me explain the problem to you. I am coming up from the Blackmagic to the Sony A7S III, and the A7S III has been absolutely amazing for me. I just wanted a couple more professional video features in that camera. So I was gonna upgrade to the C70. And I didn't think the FX6 would be at all worth it, but Sony just proves me wrong. Essentially, the FX6 is a A7S III in a cinema body. And that sounds perfect. So you trade off a couple of the functions for a mirrorless camera, but you gain a lot of functions for a cinematic beast. Essentially, it's like putting the A7S III on steroids, and you know, it is kind of exactly what I want. Now, that was the reason for me getting the Canon C70. The C70 had the same features, if not better, than the Blackmagic Pocket 6K that I use. And of course, it incorporated things like, you know, built-in NDs or just these additional professional work environment things that I would love to have in my camera, but I didn't have. And then the Sony A7S III, the small body, the compact nature, the versatility of it, I absolutely adored that, and I ended up using this camera so much more than I ever thought I would. Now, an appropriate combination is putting the A7S III together with the Blackmagic that I have, or the potential C70, thus you have the FX6. So what I'm looking at here is a full frame 4K camera, essentially the same sensor that's in this A7S III. So we have, you know, 15 stops of dynamic range. You have 4K 60. You can do up to 4K 120. You can output RAW over SDI. You have built-in ND filters. So essentially, I made a video a week or two ago on the channel saying, hey, I absolutely adore the Sony A7S III, but these are a few things that could be better, that I would like to see in the next iteration. And I didn't expect a week later to see those things in the next iteration. So this is my goal. I don't plan on selling my A7S III. I believe it is still one of the absolute best cameras that you can buy. Now, what I want to do is replace my A camera, because having something that has built-in XLR ports, built-in internal NDs, so you don't get the IBIS, you lose out on in-body image stabilization, but Sony Catalyst software can solve all of those problems. And I've been trying to switch over, thanks to your recommendations, to Sony Catalyst for my, you know, stabilization needs. So I'm not losing anything by getting this camera, and it is an appropriate pairing that I'm looking at here. So you get all of the, you know, functionalities of a proper cinema camera. You actually have the side modes. It's more set up for documentary and run and gun style. It's more built out than the current mirrorless camera. It has the form factor that fits the standard cinema lineup. I know form factor is a big thing people complain about with the Blackmagics, and form factor was something I was willing to risk with the C70, but this seems like it is right in that FX9 alley, but smaller. And I've been looking at a bunch of reviews, and I've been looking at a bunch of videos on this thing, and people are calling it, you know, like a mini Alexa. And I just love that, because it's so run and gun. It's already everything that you need right there. Now, I love building my camera rigs out, and I build camera rigs out with the Blackmagic because it solves problems that the camera has. You know, building a rig kind of fixes those things, but having it already put together on the camera, man, this is quite the tough option. So I want to know down in the comments, are you thinking about getting a Canon C70? Are you thinking about getting an A7S III? Or are you thinking about this new FX6? Because currently, with my particular needs and the things that I use to shoot for, I think having an FX6 paired with an A7S III is the combo that I'm wanting to go for, because I think the A7S III is quite an irreplaceable camera. It is so small, so compact, flip out screen, you know, it has everything that I needed to have to do my vlogs, to do my B cam stuff, to even potentially main cam some things. You know, it has that feel and it has that look to it. But this FX6 is really right up my main camera alley, because I'm still wanting something that can produce that cinema camera feel. This has, you know, color science more akin to the Sony Venice. I still have the option to do 16-bit raw output over SDI. I still have HDMI output. Everything's modular. The handle's removable. The screen is removable. So pretty much I kind of sold myself on this camera, because this is taking everything good from the FX9. Like, I wanted a camera like the FX9, but I didn't want a price point like the FX9. So it took all of the good features, made some of them even better, pulled with the A7S III's like sensor, the things that's great about it, and kind of combined the both of them into a small compact camera body. So man, Sony, you really made it tough for me, because I really don't see an other option. Like, I don't know why, but this camera has very little compromises. And that's something I would like to know in the comments. What do you see is a complete and utter compromise in this camera? Or is this the dream camera? Is this everything that you've wanted it to be? Is this the A7S III in a cinematic body? And is that exactly what you wanted? Because me personally, that's kind of exactly what I wanted. So yeah, let's start that discussion. Let's start that dialogue. I'm gonna be in the comments below, just kind of probing and getting insight from you guys and asking questions myself, because as a part of the filmmaker community, you know, I am very interested in what you guys have to say, because this thing is just, I don't know, man. I don't know, it's got me excited. 2020 has been quite the year for cameras, because when you really think about it, this year, of course, has had its downsides, but for technology and the things that's come out, man, I've never wanted so much gear in my life, and there's never been such a wide variety and selection than you have right now. And that's what I'm excited about. Doesn't matter what you shoot on, doesn't matter where you want to go. Every camera nowadays is just an amazing camera. And I'm so happy that, you know, competition is pushing all of these camera manufacturers forward. And that's what I like. I love the fact that I have so many options to choose from. Or you can be like other people. I've had guys in my comment sections, they still shoot with their 80D, and that is absolutely fine. Those are phenomenal cameras. Anything you use, it's up to you to make it like really yours. And it's up to you to determine what problems that you need solving that camera can solve. And in my case, this FX6 pretty much solves everything for me. It takes this phenomenal camera, that phenomenal focus, the color science, everything about all the things I love in this, and it gives it an additional cinema camera form factor. And that is technically blending the best of both worlds for me. So, you know, I am happy. So let me know in the comments below, what do you think and what will you be going with? But with that all being said, that's all I have for you today, guys. So if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. And if you loved it, consider subscribing, because I'm bringing you more content just like this every week. And this time it was actually brought to you from Los Angeles, California at The Future. So shout out to The Future for letting me use their office space, because your boy is working remote. But yeah, you guys stay safe, you're loved, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.